to win at the game of health. Congratulations, good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're going to talk about brief how to win at the game of health. You might say, what? How to win at the game of health. How to take control of your health and win. How not to let someone beat you at your own game. Today we're going to talk about that. What is it about eating healthy, changing what you're doing, wanting to be happy, not being sad? What is it about doing those things that you know you should be doing? What is it about those things that complicate us and stop us from doing the things that we really want to do? What is it? When we think about life, when we think about what life brings us and the joy and the happy and the laughter, what is it about life that actually stops us from doing the things that we want to do? And what do you want to do with your life? And what do you want to change about yourself today? When I look at it, what is it? Who is it? How come? And why don't you want to take really control of your life when we look at that? It's a $1 million question. And I'm always asked that. What do I need to do to stay healthy? What do I need to do to change my life? What do I need to do to be better at what I'm doing? Do you come across that sometime in your life and you're like, I'm doing everything I can do, but it seems like, darn it, no matter what I do, no matter how much I go to get sleep, how much I eat healthy, I change myself, and it seems like I'm always stuck in a rut. Do you get that way? Well, you know what? Today can be your day where you can get out that rut. Today can be that day that you can change your life and change everything that you've been doing for the positive side of it. Sometimes life doesn't go like we want it to go. Sometimes it throws us all curves. Sometimes, you know what? If you look at statistically, when we wake up in the morning, we have a disadvantage because 90% of us, when we wake up in the morning or wake up during the day, however you sleep, that we're already defeated because our mind is already playing a trick on us and saying, why you? It's not going to happen to you. And then you get caught up in the things that you want to do and you don't get them finished. Think about it for a second. What did you have planned to do today? What was your goal to do today? What did you have planned? And as you had them planned, when you look at what you had planned, it didn't go right. Or you woke up, you had your day planned, you said what you're going to do, you had it all lined out, and before you realize it, 8, 12 hours, it went away. Now, what happened? Was it that you wasn't trying to take care of the things you want to do? Or did life just get in front of us as it always does? It's amazing when I think about it for a minute. I think about the things that has happened to me for the whole last year. And I think about the obstacles I still have to overcome. But then I said, okay, we're going into a new year. What do I need to do different this year that I haven't done in the last 5 years to go into a new year better than I was? Think about it for a minute. What is it that you are wanting to change in your life, but for some reason you can't change them? What is hindering you? What is stopping you? Let me go back. Who is stopping you, and why are you allowing them to stop you from doing the things that you want to do? We all have our issues. We all have our problems. We all have our challenges. We all have our goals. We all have our dreams. We all have our aspirations. We all have our wants. We want to just have life at a different plateau. But sometimes when it comes up, it just slows us down from doing those things that we know we ought to be doing. Is it comfortable? No. Some days we just have to look at life. Some days we have to look at our family. Some days we have to look at our surroundings and say, I'm going to change. What is it going to take me to change? I'm going to eat better. I'm going to drink a minimum of 80 ounces of water a day. That's 10 8-ounce cups. I'm going to make sure my life is happy. But then life keeps going and we get caught up and we don't make those changes. And they hurt sometimes. And then people in our lives sometimes, seriously, are not for us. I had a lady not long ago was telling me all the things she does for her friends and cousins and family members, and it doesn't reciprocate back. She said, no matter what I do, they never give me what I need when I'm sitting in a situation that most of the time they cause me because I help them out so much. And so I said, well, sometimes you have to cut people loose. You have to fire them. Now, I didn't say you had to go up to them and say, I'm not coming around you no more. But, you know, when I was a little boy, they used to say you could handle them with a long-handled spoon. You don't have to get up on them. You don't have to say nothing. Because if you stay away from them long enough, they'll realize something and say, And they'll try to blame it on you because you're not coming around, but it ain't your fault. You went on about your life to make things better and happy for you. But what do you want to do? If you could change one thing in your life today, I don't care what it is, one thing you could change in your life right now, not tomorrow, not next week, today, what would it be? What would you improve you to be? If you could draw the person out that you really want to be, draw that individual out, draw him out, draw her out. Who and what would it be? What would you name it? What would you call it? What would you call yourself? See, when you look at it sometimes, we have to look at what has life dealt us, and then how do we change what life has dealt us? The cards, we might not want the package. The package is open. You can't close it back up. You can't reshuffle them, but the cards are now open. What do you want to do? You know, some of us died. Some of us exercised. Some of it, it just depends. I remember some things when it happened to me, and I wanted to make some major changes, but I kept getting knocked down. Oh, man, it was hard. Kept getting knocked down no matter what I did, no matter what I tried, no matter what I said. Kept getting knocked down, but after one day, I said, I'm getting up. I'm getting up. I'm getting up no matter how hard it is, how hard the struggle is. I'm getting up. Are you at that point yet to where whatever it is that's bothering you, whatever's got you from doing it, won't let you do those things that you want to really do? Are you there yet? Are you eating healthy? Are you walking? Are you exercising? Or are you trying to improve your career? Are you tired of failing? Are you tired of discouragement? Are you tired of what? What are you tired of that's not letting you do the things that you really want to do? And then the question comes in, who are you allowing to not allow you to do those things that you want to do? Because sometimes it's right at our hand. Sometimes it's right all we got to do. And by God, if you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Timothy Moore. Go to drtimothymoore.com, and on the screen I did put up here where you got a calendar right here where you can put something you want to talk about. We'll talk about it. Because somebody's asking me questions right now, and I'm going to look and see, can I see what the question is? You like to become, I would like to be a vegan. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Jackie said yes, and then it says hi. Okay, you want to talk about, I would like to become a vegan. Well, you know what? That is not hard. A vegan is, you know, I'm glad you took me off topic for a second. You want to be a vegan is the easiest thing to do. It really is. Now, let me show you what you do. If you look at my screen, there's a website there. And if you go and put that website in, you can make an appointment, and we're going to talk about how to be a vegan. Don't cost you nothing, but it costs you about 30 minutes of your time so we can talk about it. But being a vegan is not really complicated. You tell me why you want to be a vegan, and then basically you're replacing all animal out of your life, which is not a problem, all type of animal. And then you got to look at that, not just being a vegan. What people don't realize sometimes is you got to look at what you're putting on your skin and your body, because a lot of times you're putting things on your skin and your body. It has animal byproducts in those products. And if you're trying to be a vegan, you don't want those products at all. You really don't. But if you think about it for a second, that's not no chicken, no beef, no pork, no duck, no ribs, no kind of sausage, no kind of meat whatsoever. Then you got to look at the products of what you're trying to not consume. None of that's being eaten at all. And then you just got to say, okay, what am I going to do? If it has a face, mother, any kind of animal tied to it, you're not going to eat it. You're not going to even want it. Don't even look at it. And just go away from it, because if you don't, you'll get caught up. And next thing you know, you'll be eating something you didn't want to eat. And then you didn't really try to eat it, but you got away from it. Now, being a vegan, I can remember it like it was yesterday when I became a vegan. I remember when I gave up the food I changed in my life. You will lose weight. You will get healthy. It just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. And trust me, being a vegan is changing your lifestyle. It's going to change your friends. It's going to change who you're around, because a lot of people's not going to want to do what you just took on your body to do. Be a vegan. And then people say, oh, I don't want to be no vegan. Well, you're not worried about them. You hang around people that want to make a change in their life. Now, I will say this. There are some foods out here that say they're vegan. They might not have no animal products in them at all, but they're still just as dangerous as somebody have an animal product, because what they had to make that stuff with. And I'll be laughing a lot of times, look at people's stuff and they'll say, I got this. Well, let me give you an idea. You got two types of potato chips. You got a Lay's baked potato chip, and you got a Lay's plain potato chip. Which do you think is the healthiest? Now, the baked potato chips, the Lay's, has an ingredient list 2 miles long. The plain one just had chips, oil, and salt. Now, what's in all those other ingredients in the bake? I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff in there. But if you look at the plain, it just says oil, salt, and potatoes. Now, I'm not going to say which one is the best, because I know which one I would eat and wouldn't eat, but it's up to you. But when you look at the ingredients on what you're trying to eat, how did they make it? Because now, I'm not trying to discourage you from not being a vegan, because trust me, you will change. It'll change your life. It'll change your dynamics. It'll change your health. It'll change your hormones. It'll change everything you're doing, if that's what you want. And if that's what you want, go for it, because you know what? There are so many things out here now. People say, eat this, eat that, I'm confused. And you know what? And you will be confused. Well, if you stick to your heart, if you're going to be a vegan for you, you be a vegan for you, because I love it. And the thing about it is, when I look at it and I look at my cookbooks, vegans eat what? And then I look at my one I revised, vegan eat what? Then I look at the ones I'm writing now. I'm saying, wait a minute, what can we do on changing you? And you can change your whole dynamics of what you're trying to do and how you're doing it. But you got to look at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But remember, the body does not know breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We've been raised breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The body just looks for more nutrition. That's why one thing about it is, I always talk about, what are you eating? Number one. Then how much water are you drinking? As a vegan, because you need water. Everybody that's listening need a minimum of 80 ounces of water. That's 10 8-ounce cups a day minimum. Now, so most people under 150 pounds, it says 6.5 to 7 cups a day. But it's almost 8. And then you got to understand, if you're eating more vegetables, a lot of vegetables, they have water. So you're not missing out. So when you think about food for a second, you got beans, lentils, corn, you got tomatoes, you got onions, you got broccoli, you got squash, you got mixed vegetables, you got quinoa, you got onions, you've got kale, about 3 or 4 different kinds of kale. You got butternut squash, you got regular squash. I'm just looking at my head, because you got sweet potatoes, you got iced potato. You can basically have whatever you want when you look at the protein sources, and it's not complicated when you look at them on those sources. Now, somebody might say, well, what are you getting your protein from? You're getting it from all the beans and the grains and stuff like that. You're not missing out on much protein. You're really not. Now, I'm going to look down at my screen and see what somebody just said, because I can't see it from this far away. But let me look what it says. It says, how long have you been vegan? I've been vegan, now, let's look at this. Oh, I've been vegan well over 15, 20 years. And then it says, okay, I would like to become, that's not a problem. Okay, like the same person. Jacqueline, okay, nobody know you but me. So when you look at it, I've been vegan over 10 years, 15. Hold on, man, time flies. A good 20 years. So it just depends on what you're trying to do with your health, what you're trying to do with your life. Because being a vegan, you can be a vegan. But do me a favor. If you just don't just jump out there, take your time. If you can cut away from certain things, get away from them. But if you can't, remember, this is a journey. And I'd rather for you to do it the right way and not mess it up. And then don't yo-yo it. Just take your time. But the thing about it is, depends on what you want, what you're trying to accomplish. If it's better health, you can get better health. I don't know. That's what you want. That's what you can get. If it's just, I look at it more longevity. I look at it for longevity. You know, how long do you want to live? I'm thinking 150, 155. Why not? Now, somebody say, well, 155. The way the world is going today, the way we eat, the way things are happening, you could actually live that way too. But it's on you. Nobody can stop it but you. So when you're doing this thing, you got to make a meal plan. You know, the thing about it is, and it's not hard. It's just that getting people, and you have to have time to make it work. And it will work. Trust me, it will work. So prepared food, I always tell people, you're going to prepare your food, get you a couple of people what you're doing the weekend or the week, and y'all can make up 4 or 5 meals at one time that can feed a couple of houses. But I've always said one of my things is keeping around is stable is beans and rice. You got red beans, you got your garbanzo beans, you got the lentil beans, you got your black-eyed peas, you got pinto beans. You can keep beans around and you can put them in the house, in the freezer. You always got fresh. Now somebody said, I can go buy them in a can. You can. But to me, there's nothing like fresh. Then you can make you some rice when you need it. Nowadays, you can make you a thing of rice up in 10 minutes in an instant pot of these things they got today. You can make it up something quick. Now, then you can steam vegetables. Don't take you but a few minutes to steam up some vegetables. Now you can have a good meal. And trust me, once you start changing your life, what you're eating, your whole dimension changes. Everything about your demeanor changes. You change. Everything changes about your body when you start eating healthier. And as you go healthier, people start noticing it, and you start noticing things about yourself too. So let's see what we got here. What made me become vegan? Oh, that's a good question. 365 pounds. I was really fat. 365 pounds. I was not eating like I was supposed to eat. I wasn't taking care of myself like I was supposed to. I was, at that time in my life, I was a diabetic. I got rid of that. It was totally unhealthy. That's what made me change everything. And then I tried every kind of diet they ever made in the world to lose weight, and I couldn't lose. And finally, one of my doctor friends said, hey, have you ever tried thinking about going vegan? No, eat no meat. I laughed it off like everybody else. I laughed it off. But all of a sudden, I'm losing weight. And I kept losing weight. And the thing about it is, it didn't come back. I mean, you think about it, it did not come back. Now, was it a struggle? Oh, some days it really was. But not long. Because I have been used to a certain way of lifestyle, a certain way of eating, and then one day I cut all that out. So it was no walk in the park, but there's some things I had to change about me, number one. It was a mind thing. I had to convince myself that I wasn't going to starve. I had to overcome that thing that everybody has to overcome is, oh, where's your protein? You ain't got no protein. Oh, I heard that so many times. But when I broke it down, where my protein was really coming from all the other sources of food that I could eat, that was never a problem. But I had to break that down because I heard it every day. Where's your protein? You can't live without meat. That is the biggest lie I ever heard in my life. You can live without meat. Trust me. There's more beans and grains that you can eat that's got more protein, more broccoli, and more cauliflower, stuff like that, more protein, more potatoes or sweet potatoes, things that you can, all of it has protein. But once you watch your body, your face, your hair, your nails, everything starts to change because you go vegan, everything's going to change. it has no way but to change. So that was my reason. It was a health move, but it was one of the best moves I could ever made. And I'm glad I did. So when you look at the food, when you look at all the challenges, it's going to be some challenges. It's going to be family gatherings that you're going to say, oh, what do you eat for Thanksgiving? What do you eat for Christmas? You still eat food. But you eat healthy. You're thinking about you. And if you're thinking about being a vegan, I want to be a vegan, how to be a vegan, you got to be the vegan for you. You can't be it for anybody else, because if you don't, when you get in one of those rough spots, you're going to toss it out the window because it won't be you. But if you do it for you and you stay intact with it, you will make it every time. There's nothing better than doing what you can do. Hot flashes, they'll be gone. Trust me. They won't sit around at all. Upset stomach, diarrhea, it won't hang around at all, because you're flushing, you're cleaning your body out, and your body's thanking you and says, hey man, I'm not a hoarder of food or junk stuff. I'm eating healthy food that's good for me. And that stuff will happen. That stuff will come to you every day, and you'll be like, I'm glad I'm doing this. And you're doing it for yourself. Now remember, you will lose some friends. You will lose some people that you thought you were pretty tight with, because you don't eat what they eat anymore. And it's not a bad thing, because this is your life. This is your body. This is your future. So when you look at it, it comes back together, and we just go at it together. And so let's see what else in there. Anything else in there? Let's see. So when you look at it, oh, somebody talking about I want to be a vegan. And it's not hard. I promise it's not. But you guys have to decide what you want to do. Then you go back to life and health and friends and doing things that you want to do. Hey, I'm having people today convert and change their life. Come change their life, convert to what? Help them change their life, their dreams, their goals, their aspirations. Because a lot of us don't know what we really want in life, so we get stuck. We get stuck in a position like a child is in the house doing something, and they get under the table, and they don't realize they can't go up. They got to go out from under. And sometimes we get like we're hitting that wall and as an adult and say, we can't get out, but you can. You look at your surroundings, look where you're at, and get out. And when you look at your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, you have to write stuff down every day, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. How do you want this day to be versus yesterday? What do you want to do different than you did yesterday? And once you start looking at what you want to do different than you did yesterday, today is a whole new day. What you did yesterday doesn't matter anymore, because now we're going forward and we're making things happen today better than before. We have to. But life is what you choose it to be. And I see it every day. It's what you choose it to be. That's what you want it to be. And what you want to get out of. What do you want to get out of your life? What do you want to change today that you didn't do yesterday? And why is it so hard to do those things? Remember, misery loves company. And a lot of times we're in misery and don't even realize we're in misery, and we can't be who we want to be. We can't get in life what we want to get. And so we get stuck in a rut. And them ruts, sometimes they just not good. We want to get out of them, but we're stuck in them. But what is that one thing today, if you could change right now in your life that you could change and you could feel good about it? What would you do? How would you do? How would you feel? What is keeping you from doing the things you really want to do? Who is keeping you from doing the things you really want to do? You can do whatever you want to do, but you got to believe it. You got to really believe it. And if you believe it, it'll happen. If you don't believe it, it won't happen. The thing about it is, I just think about my own self sometimes. What I had to go through. What I had to still go through. I don't know if you know it or not, but almost a year now I lost my leg. And it's been horrific trying to change some things in my life, get back together like I used to be, walk like I used to walk. I never walked like I used to walk, but I have to go through my own struggles. And then when I'm thinking I'm through the struggle, it's almost like an unknown storm come out of nowhere, and I have to lift myself up again to get out that storm. What storm are you in that you seem like it just got you stopped? Or what quicksand are you walking in where it just got you stuck? What do you need to change today about your life? What do you want to change about being happy, free, and independent? What is it? Because when you know that, or what is it about working for yourself that you might want to work for yourself and do some things for you? What is it? When you think about life, when you think about the things you love to do, what is it today that's holding you back from those things that you wanted to really do? Because, when you look at it, it's like I told some children not too long ago, if you look at the circle or the spin, most of the things they do is from influences. And when they realize the influence can tell you do something, but they didn't do it, they threw their hand through the rock and hit their hand and you got blamed for it. That's what life is. They'll tell you to do something, but they don't do it. You do it. Or we're going to go join the gym together. You go in and sign and say, let me come in with you. They ain't got nothing to lose. You're the one trying to better your life. So if they don't come, you decide not to come with them, but you're paying for it. So I don't understand that one. That's why we got to look at what you're trying to accomplish in your life. You're trying to drop a couple dress size or pant size. It ain't complicated. But you got to make it up in your mind that you're going to do it for yourself. I'm going to get in my size. What size jeans do you want to wear? What size skirt, pants, blouse do you want to get in? What is it? And once you determine that you want to get in that, you can get in it. But it's a mind thing. See, what we put in that mind determines everything that we're going to do. And if we don't put the right things in that mind, we're going to be in trouble. Because our mind, as we used to say, the mind's a terrible thing to waste. So when you think about it, what is it that you really want out of life? If you could change one thing, I'm going to ask you again, in your world today, what would you change today, right now? What would you change? How would you change it? And then why are you allowing individuals, persons, things to stop you from doing the things that you really, really, really want to do? Why are you allowing that? Why you won't stop it? I know you probably say it's hard. It's not hard, but why won't we stop it? Answer the question. Well, this is Dr. Moore. I got to go, but I'm glad you was around so I can answer some of your questions. And remember, go to drtimothymoore.com. Let's talk about it. Also, send me an email. You got the link on the screen. Let's talk about it. Because you know what? I can tell you some issues that I've had to deal with. And I'm sure you can tell me some that you've had to deal with. But I can promise you we can work this out together, that you can go through, I can go through, and everything else will take care of itself. Hold on, let's see what this question was, what came up right quick. Let's just see before I go, because I want to make sure I get everybody's question answered tonight that's shooting at me. So when you think about it, it's going to be all right. Thank you for listening tonight. Pass this on to somebody else. If you can always talk, like I said, this is real, my real show. It's about you improving you. Bottom line is, you're going into a new year. In the last 4 or 5 years, you've been doing the same thing over and over again. Let's change it this year. Let's don't go back to where we was last year, the year before last. We're still doing the same thing today. We're still in the same rut. We didn't move. We didn't change. Nothing changed. Because when we kick off 2000 the next year, I'm kicking it off with you in a whole different way. And I promise you, stick with it. Whatever you're trying to do, stick with it. Sometimes it might seem slow. Stick with it. It's going to happen. Quit listening to the naysayers, because they're going to always be there and tell you what you can't do. They're going to always be there. Always. Always. But you believe in your heart. You trust yourself. Watch what happens. And the things that you're trying to accomplish, the goals, the dream, the aspirations, the wants, the desires, they're right in front of you. You act like they're already here. You act like you've already accomplished them. They're already here. But you got to believe that. And when you got those negative factors around you, people that don't believe in what you believe in, that's all right. Because they're not supposed to believe in what you believe in. This is your dream, your goals, your wants, your aspirations. They don't have to follow you. But you follow yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself. Tell yourself, I'm going to make myself better than I was ever before. And if you believe that and you strive at that, guess cannot happen. You will be what you're thinking about. It's going to happen. You're going to be so happy with your life, with your dreams, with your goals, with your aspirations, the things that you want to do, and you won't let the enemy or somebody that don't believe in you stop you. Because can't nobody stop you but you. And if you let somebody stop you from your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, you're going to be upset. Because they're going to keep going. And guess what? They're not going to miss no sleep. You are. You sitting there worrying about what somebody's thinking about you. They sleep. That's the truth. Well, you guys be blessed. Keep your notifications on. When I do this again, it'll automatically let you know, hey, Doc's out there, he's talking. That way you won't miss anything, because I don't want you to miss it. I want you to know I'm out here. So when I come back, you can be a part of the show and give me what you're thinking about, and we'll go from there. You guys be blessed, and we'll talk soon.